So tell me a little bit about your stocks. Like in Singapore, you said that the company gives certain pension benefits and everything, right? You invest into your the retirement fund, right?
So here I think
or the government itself gives the retirement.
No, here the whatever money which we have, I think it is a portion you get an interest, but it is not doesn't get invested automatically into that. So we have to choose. They will give a list of funds which you can choose.
Options to choose.
Options to use. We can invest over there. And that option, either you can choose a global funds, or you can choose Singapore funds, or you can choose any other Asian index funds. Usually index funds is what they will allow.
Yes, yeah, generally more balanced, right?
More balanced,
this is for long-term retirement, right?
Long-term.
You don't want to burn your funds. Just take the risky things.
Already I burnt my fingers, right?
You burnt your But that at an young age, I think that will also help you, right? That was like an entrepreneur that you did it. Like not everybody can take that chance, right? Because the courage of burning the money is also like takes guts to ruin that money, take the chance.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, like, so you invest onto it, right? And then government just like your company gives matches some portion into this fund, right?
Exactly.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works. So it will get logged on into a PF account. On top of that, if you have some additional income as well, which you can invest in other savings, or at the moment I think I'm investing more on the bond funds, because the interest rates are quite high right now.
Bonds.
So for stocks I'm still actually waiting, because I think after I went through that phase, right, what my wife has become a little bit conservative, and our second child was born in 2017, so I think so we have a 9 years gap between our first child and second child. That's why I joke with
second is also a boy, or second is
first
a boy?
Is a girl, second is a boy.
Girl.
First is a boy, first is a girl, second is a boy. Right? And with 9 years gap, right? That's what I joke with people. If you have immediately after one another like Ranjit, it is BTech and MTech. But if it is 9 years gap, that is BTech Chemical Engineering, that is BTech Computer Science. So we have totally different. You are at a different age. You need to handle them differently, and their activities differently.
Yeah, I know. It's just you need to learn again to be parent, right? Because you guys 9 years you forgot maybe, and then you are redoing it.
Redoing this. So now, I started my investing journey again, because I think my wife wanted to keep sufficient amount as cash, so that she doesn't want to go back to that phase again. So
phase of like risky
right
phase.
So sufficient amount of cash, like because even recently I started learning personal finance, budgeting. We do monthly budgets, and so that is how she said that at least 6 months of expenses I need in my bank account.
Emergency fund.
You need to have. Post that, let's think how to invest that. And that is how I think we started investing in bond funds. Now I am exploring monthly, because I read a lot of books. I think recently I read one very good book called The Psychology of Money, which really explains how compounding works, and basically author suggested to start investing in low expense index funds like Vanguard funds.
Index funds. Even though you had a dad who was doing finance like every month, strict budget, it took a while for you to come to this stage. Because the discipline of finance is like we couldn't do maybe. Because of the roles, like
the roles.
I don't know, maybe we should have done it a lot earlier, I guess.
Another, I think, good personal finance thing which I learned, which I want to share, is you need to reduce the number of credit cards you have. I think I use only primary one credit card, which I pay off every month, and I have just one more because these banks working in the financial sector, I have realized these banks are experts and at getting money from you. They will do anything which is legal. It might not be ethical, but they will do anything which is legal to get
legal.
money.
Yes.
As long as it's politically correct, they will. Politically correct, they will. Otherwise, for credit card, the interest rates in Singapore are like 22%. That's like crazy.
Here also the same. They just make you. They just beg you to take it. And once you take it, you don't close it, and then it just keeps on going like that. So your wife also works in the same sector, like in the finance now?
So I think the way we decide our wife's working is based on the need, right? So I think 2015 to around that time she worked for a couple of years. Then since we were planning for second child, again we decided that let's focus on our next. Then last year after this COVID thing happened, we got this work from home opportunity. So then we discussed, and even things in that fintech were not going so well. So then she decided to work again. And after I got this opportunity this year, a new opportunity where I was able to, increase my income significantly. So then we decided, okay, let you take a break, because I think both people working is, it all boils down to your goals as well, right? Because both people working
time, right? Basically
time, right? So there is a lot of stress associated with it. You need to ensure that your second one is taken care of. And
it's not worth it when you have both kids.
Both kids, and that's what I think this year again she had some health challenges as well. So we thought, okay, you take rest for a while. Now that at least now I'm able to, our family income has increased, right? Previously I was working,
so you don't need to.
Exactly. I was working at X income and you were working with Y. And if I'm, let's say, even I'm getting something between X and Y, and if you manage your personal finances well, you don't need it, right?
Need to,
So
it's not a necessity anymore.
It is not a necessity. That's what my wife, since she's a CEO, right? She will only step in when the family economy needs it.
When it's needed. Exactly. If not, you don't need to, right?
We will engage senior management when only if there is a need.
When there is a need, and she decides if she needs to step in or not, right? Yes.
So at the moment, she says that she has a little bit of free time. I thought that, okay, why? Because I think one book which I will really recommend everyone to read is called Personality Plus, which I'm not sure you read it or not, but it will really show you, because people build personalities based on their childhood experiences and all that. So based on her personality, she's like a very deep thinker, and she can actually, and she is very meticulous, and she can do a lot of stuff with great precision and focus. So that's what I was thinking of, just explore what is that you can do, because if you get into this job thing, then like Monday to Friday, morning till evening, time finish, you will not get. So if you need to go into this entrepreneurship thing, you need a lot of time to think. That's what now I'm encouraging her.
Yes.
So she is also now thinking, and we'll just figure out what we will do.
You need to have that focused time and energy to think, to do something you want to do, right? So we all become slaves for a paycheck, right? Once you are in that cycle, you just go. But I know necessities, when you have that choice and option, then yes, we should do that. Yeah. So in terms of investments, tell me that you never invested in India or something, because you guys were always sure that you want to settle
India
down
invested in some stocks and all that, but what I think what I'm seeing is Indian rupee is depreciating, right? Because this is when this one thing which I learned the hard way, because the flat which I bought, I was a bachelor, right? In my hard times, I had to sell it off, right? And
you did sell it off.
I did sell it off, but I was actually, in a way, I actually lost money, because when I transferred to India, I remember the exchange rate was 25.
Yes.
But when I had to bring it back here, it was 43. So actually my house value depreciated by 40%, right? Now the Indian exchange rate is, I think at the moment it is around 60, 61 now. And in a year, because I'm in this financial markets, right, I track all these exchange rates. So in a year, Indian rupee has depreciated by 10%. So what does that mean, right? If I had $1,000 today, if I keep it in Singapore and if I transfer it today, I got a 10% return. On top of that, if I invest in an bond fund, and if I am getting, let's say, 5% return, and if I transfer after 1 year, I'm actually getting 15% return. So people who are staying overseas, I don't recommend investing in Indian stock market. Another way to invest in Indian stock market is invest in an index fund based in US dollars.
Yeah, here, so like you buy here, right?
Yeah, either some funds which invest. I think there are certain shares which get traded in India based on the Indian stock market. So I would recommend, because I think Indian value is depreciating quite fast. And so rather than
you never did that. That's a good thing. You never burnt your hands too much in that way of life. Okay. So in terms of insurance, you have an insurance here. Like I know life insurance is covered by company, right? Generally.
So I think that again, in times of life insurance, once I learned I went on my personal finance journey, right? So slowly I learned insurance is not an investment product. Most people who spend money on insurance doesn't know that. They are actually tricked. If you want insurance, it's supposed to be for your rainy day. Meaning, if you're insuring your life, I would really suggest people to go with I think this insurance is called term insurance policy. For a term insurance, because currently in Singapore, I have a term insurance policy of $1 million, but I am paying every year only around $1,000. Just for $1,000, I'm
only
getting
$1,000 every year,
because it's a term insurance policy, and it has no maturity benefits, right? So I treat insurance as only an event-based coverage.
Just for the sake of emergency.
Because if people who use insurance, the returns which they get is not really so less. Many people don't know that. This also, I think I learned through, I think there are some popular personal finance gurus like Dave Ramsey or, Ramit Sethi. When I started listening to them, I learned this. So that's how my take on insurance. So insurance, you need to handle it as and another thing
just a term insurance.
Just a term insurance. And another thing which I learned the hard way was you can have your office insurance coverage, but in Singapore, I would also recommend to have your own personal insurance coverage. The reason I'm telling you is when I moved jobs in 2015, right? So when I moved from an earlier company, it was covering for my family, but the new fintech was only covering me. So at that time, my daughter had to be hospitalized for food poisoning. And, and luckily I had a basic personal policy. It was not a full coverage, but in spite of that, I had to pay an additional $2,000 for her medical charges and all. Again, second mistake, right? So now I corrected. So I'm telling you, I have committed so many mistakes. So
no, it's not maybe that time we overlook or we don't know, right? We don't have that information completely that we have now. Exactly. So maybe we need to be more compassionate to ourselves too. Don't think it's a mistake, but then
no, it's not.
It's a
learning, right? Now that my self-image is at a level which I am proud of myself, So I see those as a learnings or not to,
learnings.
So that's what now I am in a position to
Just
say to
repeat them.
others that, hey boss, that's what my brother-in-law is here. Did you cover your family or not? Because this is what has happened to me. So I'm able to, suggest
because
to
that
other
time
people.
we don't have that information, right? So at least we are passing down. That's the purpose of this show too, right?
Yes.
If like that time we don't have the information to make those choices, but at least let's just
Now
give
you
it
have-
back. Whoever wants to learn that, they can know that.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about your hobbies, or like what you guys do socially there in Singapore.
For me, I think hobbies and
stress buster.
Stress buster for me, because I have these two kids. I spend more time with them, and with
Kids.
my younger son who is like 6 years now. So I am the toy for him, right? So that is my stress buster. And in terms of hobbies and all, I work mostly on trying out new things, learning new things. I read books. I think one of the books which has really changed my thinking is Magic of Thinking Big, or Think and Grow Rich.
Magic of Thinking.
So Les Gibling books or Brian Tracy books. So, and recently I think one very good book which I read was Never Split a Difference by Chris Voss. So it's a book on negotiating. So negotiating. But you'll be surprised, where am I using that skill? I'm talking to my teenager only.
Teenager now, yeah, exactly.
Right. So because I spend more, because going by personality how it is, I usually don't socialize that much, right? Because for me, I have this thought process is in 5 years from now, I'll be same person I am with books I read and people I associate. Right? But I do have my close friends and all, but if they are at my income level, then I cannot increase my income, right? So
you don't grow, right? Yeah.
I will not grow. So my hobbies is always always constantly I focus on how is I adding my value in my various phases of life, in my relationships, and my personal growth, or in my am I learning new in investments, or am I learning new thing in job now? Because now I'm in a bank is more process oriented. Fintech is you need to get shit done, right? They don't care about process and all that. But in bank, the project management methodologies I'm learning, right? I go into this Udemy, take courses. So that is how I spend much of my time on learning, on my learning journeys. And of course now hobbies and all, I main thing is spend time with my wife. One of the most happiest moments for my life in a day is my morning filter coffee with my wife, because I like filter coffee.
You guys have filter coffee now? Okay, that's good.
I am a
that's one of the perk you get, right? For wife not working, maybe having some gaps.
Yeah. So I am, I think for me the best thing which I like is a very good filter coffee. So, and then I learn more about health, how to improve the health. I'm always into this, health hacks. So how do we optimize? So how do we improve my health or improve family's health? So I always keep on learning these new things. So that is how I spend whatever time which I get apart from my other activities.
So what is the health management trick that you guys do? Like, is there a particular thing that you guys do?
So I think this year we went with a health transformation program, right? So I think my wife reduced around 4 kgs in 45 days. I reduced around 4 kgs in 45 days. So went through medical tests, and of course this was conducted through Amway itself. And we were given a health program, and we were explained about the concept which was there since ages, but it was lost, called autophagy. And the basic
autophagy, yes.
Yeah, right. So basic concept is intermittent fasting with low carb diet. So that after that also still we are following that. is, I think, our meal times, right? After filter coffee, my next meal is only around 11:30, 12 o'clock. And by evening 7:38, we will finish off our dinner.
You finish the dinner. Early dinner, yes.
Early dinner. So I think that is something, because I'm sure you have read about this book called Atomic Habits, right? Atomic Habits is all about habit stacking. So while I think one way to improve your health is, spend time for exercise and this. Another thing is, what is that I can fit into my routine? So my health management thing is daily I need to get, I have this thing on almost like 24/7 tracker, right? So am I getting my 8,000 to 10,000 steps every day? And am I drinking at least 3 liters of water every day? So that's what, right? Something which I can track. And am I keeping this meal times consistently or not? And this has really helped us, maintain good health. And also I take a good number of supplements. So that is how I take a good number of health supplements like ashwagandha for your stress management, vitamin C for your immunity.
So we have a lot of traditional food and then the core values, right? Yes. From our culture too. Yeah.
Exactly.
So which we lost a little bit, but the food we eat is really good, like the way we learn.
But I think what I found, and I think our parents was that generation where they were really lied to. In our parent generation is where this refined oil, aluminium cooker.
They were like more, yes. They lost
I think
all our things, and then
our grandparents did the right thing. That's what I have that philosophy. Whatever our grandparents did, it was correct. We have to follow that only.
They were correct. Yes,
they were correct.
Our parents are getting caught up with all these westernization things. They lost little bit. Yes.
So
we are also going back and then bringing all the old things, right?
Nowadays, I think my wife doesn't use any. Except for some basic frying. Otherwise, we used this, seed oils. She doesn't use any of this refined oils. So that way, health-wise,
olive oil is good too, right?
Olive oil is good, exactly.
Yeah.